What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Now, I've had an insane week after being in complete shock seeing this video go viral on YouTube. So, to give you guys exactly what you want, in this video today, I'm actually going to share with you my tips and tricks on how to stay consistent in creating content on Instagram. Now, a question that I always get from my coaching clients is, Vanessa, how do I have enough photos for the gram? Now, I know it seems like a really silly question, but regardless if you use YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, if you are using social media for your personal brand in order to grow your business, staying consistent on these platforms is more important than ever. That's why, to give you guys the best advice possible, I actually brought on a special guest for this video. My friend, Swana.
Hi guys!
My friend Swana just so happens to also be a photographer.
And in today's video, we're going to share with you guys how we plan and shoot for an entire month of content for your Instagram feed in one day.
Yes, you guys heard that right. We're going to teach you step by step how to plan everything out for your Instagram feed in one day and one day only, so that every week you always have photos to pump out for your audience, and so you can always be consistent on the platform. So if you guys are interested in learning all about this, then keep on watching. So the first piece of advice that we have for you is
to create an inspiration board for all the photos that you want to take for your Instagram feed. This is when you're going to go on Pinterest and find inspiration for poses, outfits, aesthetics for your photo shoot. And as a photographer, I love when my clients do this because it helps me give direction and a vision for what they want to create for the photo shoot. So once you've created an inspiration board, the second thing you want to do is to ask a friend or a significant other or hire someone to help you take the photos.
Now, especially if you are a business owner and you rely on social media to grow your personal brand for your business, it is worth considering upgrading from your typical iPhone quality and actually finding someone or hiring someone who has a professional camera to take good quality photos for you on a consistent basis. That's kind of how I met Swana.
So what I do is I have a subscription service where I work with business owners and influencers to batch create content for their Instagram or for their social media. Since many people use social media for their businesses, it's not easy to just create content on the daily. That's why it's so much smarter to take all your content at once, and that's what I help content creators do.
Exactly, and honestly, having someone like Swana has been an absolute game changer for me. It's been so much easier to actually create content, especially when you're already busy managing your business. Now, I also don't want to freak you guys out. If you don't own a business or if you don't have the investment to hire someone to help you on a monthly basis create all of their content for the month, then definitely ask a good friend of yours, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, your mom, your dad, doesn't matter. Because the idea is that in one day, in less than 4 hours, you're going to be able to create all of this content for the whole month for your Instagram feed. Now that you've found someone to agree to shoot with you, regardless if it's your buddy or if you're hiring someone, the next thing you want to do is create a brief. Now, out of this entire video, this tip is probably the most important tip, because having a brief, a really good one, is going to either make or break your shoot. Because after you've created your mood board, the mood board that we discussed in tip 1, you then want to transfer the photos that you've chosen on Pinterest into an actual brief. Now, a lot of you might be wondering, what exactly is a brief? Swana, do you want to explain it to them?
Sure. A brief is basically a detailed document that outlines the different various locations you're going to shoot at and the different outfits you're going to wear at these locations, and also all the different poses you're going to do.
Also, something to keep in mind before you create this brief is you also want to calculate. Actually ask yourself, how many days a week do you post on Instagram? In my case, if I post 3 times a week, that means for the whole month, I'm going to need 12 photos. So in your brief, you're going to need to actually brief for 12 different photos for your feed. Now, don't worry, I'm actually going to pull up an example of what a brief looks like.
All right, guys, so this is a brief, and this brief was specifically for the launch of my website, www.vanessalau.co. So as you can see within the brief, I've already outlined the location, and this was taken in an alleyway that had a bunch of colors, but essentially it's just for us to know that this is location 1 with the pink alley. And because this brief was specifically made for a website, what I did was I really mapped out exactly for the website header what would be on it, which location it would be, what outfit I would wear, how close it should be, and which props I should bring. Now, obviously, if this is for Instagram, it doesn't have to be this intense, but I do recommend to add some detail in order to ensure that your shoot is as efficient as possible. Here, we also had the location printed out and a little bit of inspiration from all of that, and then a little bit of more inspiration for that website. Here, you'll also notice that I do the same with every section of my website, and I also kind of change up the location now and then. So you can see exactly what I wanted to wear, how close it would be, whether it be portrait or landscape, and if there would be props. So these were a lot of the inspirations that I actually used for my website. And if you want to visit my website at www.vanessalau.co, you can then see what ended up being the final result. Now, keep in mind that it's not always going to be the same because everyone is different, but having a brief really helps to create some organization for your shoots.
Also, what's really helpful is to have all your locations be in walking distance or in close proximity to each other.
So after you've created this brief, you've shared it with your friend or your photographer or whoever is helping you create this content, and you've chosen the date that you're going to be shooting all day, you then want to pack a suitcase filled with all of your clothes and accessories the night before. Because in your shoot day, you're going to be going from location to location, this is a suitcase that you're going to be lugging around all day filled with all of your different outfits and the different accessories that you might use, including jewelry, different shoes, notebooks, laptops, earphones, whatever you might need to create the desired aesthetic for your shoot.
Consider changing up your hairstyle and bring different lipsticks for your photo shoot. In terms of packing for clothes, I find the most efficient way is to mixing up your outerwear, because it's easy to just throw on different outerwear instead of going to change room and change your entire outfit. So then you're maximizing your time to change quickly for different poses and in different locations.
Absolutely. Even for me, even with a suitcase, you're going to be lugging this thing around and going to small coffee shop bathrooms. So the less changes that you can make, the better. But like Swana said, having a different jacket, a different cardigan, something that you can easily throw up top to change the variety of your photo, that's going to be great so that people can't tell that you did everything in one day.
Now the last step is
to shoot.
And now that you've done all the planning for the photo shoot, this makes it so much easier. I know that when I work with Vanessa, it only takes 4 hours to take a whole month's worth of content. And as a photographer, this makes it so much easier for me to understand my client's direction and creative vision, and that way it makes it a lot more efficient for me to just help them get the photos that they need for their social media.
And that's it, guys.
This is how you create 1 month's worth of content in just one go.
So guys, if you reached the end of this video, you would have learned step by step how we plan a full month's worth of content in just one photo shoot for an entire month's worth of Instagram photos. And you would have also learned and saw the behind the scenes of exactly how we do it. But your next question might be, okay, great, I have all these amazing, beautiful photos. Now what? Well, you're in luck, because next time in the next video that I post, I'm actually going to teach you how you're going to transfer these photos into your actual Instagram feed and schedule your content so you no longer have to scramble last minute to figure out if your aesthetic works out, what your caption's going to be, so on and so forth. So again, make sure you hit the notification bell to be notified when that video drops, and also if you aren't subscribed already, to subscribe to this channel. Last but not least, guys, thank you so much, Swana, for being a part of this video.
Thank you for having me.
And if you aren't already, make sure you subscribe to Swana or follow her on Instagram. We're gonna link it right here. And make sure, especially if you're in the Vancouver area, to hit her up and ask her about her services. She's absolutely amazing, and she's already done so much for my business, and I could not recommend her any more than I already have. Anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, hope you guys have a great week, and I hope you guys have a great life, and we'll see you next time. Bye!